To begin with, we'll use the graphing calculator to graph the function, and then that actually will sometimes help in eliminating the parameter, although we still need to do the algebra to eliminate the parameter. So check the mode and make sure that it's in parametric form, and when you go to y equals, there's the x and the y, and then the window should go from 0 to 2 pi. So this one, the biggest it would get is 2 plus 1 is 3, and then this one could be a -5 and -2 is -7. So let's change the window to go from -8 to +8, -8 to +8. Hopefully that'll be big enough to see the graph. Alright, so it seems to be an ellipse. So a sketch of the graph is that it's an ellipse that is not centered at the origin. And now we need to eliminate the parameter t and just have x and y. One other thing that could be noted, or should be noted, on the graph, I'm going to have it draw it a little bit slower, is the direction that it went. So it went from the top down, it went this direction. So the orientation is information that we have with parametric functions, but not x, y functions. So that's the direction that it went. In order to eliminate the t in this problem, I'm going to need to get sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. Something else that helps is when you look at the graph and say, oh, I've got an ellipse. Well, the general equation of an ellipse looks like x squared over a number squared and y squared over a number squared equals 1. So it's got x squared and y squared in it. So we should get x squared and y squared out of this by squaring both sides. Now if you take those two ideas together, that we need sine squared plus cosine squared, and that we need x squared plus y squared, then we need to get the numbers over on this side before we do the squaring. That way, on the right hand side, we'll just have sine squared plus cosine squared. So first of all, on this one, subtract 1, so it's going to be x minus 1 equals 2 sine of t. For this one, add 2. Y plus 2 is 5 cosine of t. And then here's where this dividing idea comes in. Divide by 2 and divide by 5. So sine of t equals an x minus 1 gets divided by 5. And then cosine of t equals a y plus 2 gets divided by 5. I looked at the wrong number on this one. This one's divided by 2. And then I'll continue over here, square both sides. So all of this needs to be squared. So that one's going to be over 4 from now on. And all of this needs to be squared. So on the left hand side I've got x minus 1 is squared divided by 4. And don't multiply this out, leave it as it is. That's equal to sine squared. And the other one is y plus 2 divided by 25 squared. And then that's cosine squared. And then add them together. On this side, it's going to be sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1, which is perfect because that's what it was supposed to equal. And on this side, it is x minus 1 squared over 4 plus a y plus 2 squared over 25. And there it is. And this says that the center of this thing is at x equals 1, y equals -2. So if you go over to x equals 1 and y equals -2, that's the center. And then this is saying in the x direction, go left and right by 2. So you take the square root of this, so go over by 2 and go over by 2. That's how wide it is there. And this is saying in the y direction, go up and down by 5. So go up by 5 and down by 5, and that's how tall it is.